Welcome. This is ActiveSpirituality.life. It is a weekly forecast program with astrology and a guided meditation activation to help you make the most of your week. It's run by Pamela Cucinell, that's me, the astrologer, and Suzy Meszoly, Master Healer. We invite you to find out more about our individual work. Suzy Meszoly, SuzyMeszoly-healer.com, or insightoasis.com for astrology. You can also find both of us at activespirituality.life, and we look forward to your joining us every week. Please share with your friends. Here we go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 12 of 2022. This is activespirituality.life with Pamela Cucinell and Suzy Meszoly. Pam's going to let us know all about the week starting Monday, the 21st of March, and then I will be back at the end of the week with our meditation. What looks like happening this week, Pam?
Okay, well, we are now officially in spring. We had the equinox yesterday, and also we had that really delicious full moon last week, which hopefully was energizing for peace and healing, that Virgo full moon. So now where we are in the week of the 21st is we kick off with the moon in Scorpio. And even though Monday may be a challenging day in certain ways for some of us, it is in its end game a positive transformational outcome. So if you're finishing anything up, if you're broaching a new project, keep in mind we are in the waning moon cycle. So it is a time when it's better to wrap things up. It doesn't mean you can't start a project, but keep in mind if you do, it may take a while to get its momentum, and it depends what it is. With the moon in Scorpio on Monday, it's absolutely fabulous for anything that has to do with research, with projects that have to do with getting under the skin of something, really digging deep, anything therapeutic, anything that has to do with uncovering secrets. Also things that have to do with dealing with big numbers. So if we have to look into moving money around or figuring out how we're going to pay something off, or some kind of investment, it's a good day to do that, obviously. And I haven't really talked at length. I mean, now and again, clients ask me about what's going on with investments, the market, the economy. Those of you who've listened to our longer term forecasts and discussion know that we are in a time of flux and transition as far as what happens in the economic bigger world of finance, how we invest, why we invest, what we invest in. As we're on the threshold and entering into the air cycle, have been, which will go on for another 180 years, we are in a time where economy is about ideas, concepts, innovation, collaboration, and not so much the manufacturing of stuff and dependence on fossil fuels. So this is shifting the economy. And when you think, if you have the luxury of thinking about long-term investments, then you want to think in things that you conceptually believe in for tomorrow. So not so much short-term game, because I don't pretend to be an expert in any way, shape, or form about people who invest day-to-day or short-term gains. We are in the long term. metaphorically and for the investment in humanity. So those are big concepts that can enter our consciousness on Monday, the 21st, because that's pretty much what we're thinking in terms of. It's survival of the spirit, survival of the psyche, survival of the emotional realm, and what really is the most important thing to invest in day to day in your life, which has to do more with quality of life, the sense of, am I doing things that are helpful and therapeutically restorative for overall survival, not just for me, but for everything around me? And that is a focus on Monday, the 21st. Some of us may have a bit of crankiness in the morning on Monday. This can pass. What's most important is to be alert to things that might suddenly upset or switch or change. Your plans may absolutely change, whatever your to-do list was or what you thought you were doing. Early in the morning, you could discover, no, that's not working. It can be as subtle as a detour. Oh, I was going this way, but now I have to go that way. Or it could be an absolute switch in what you thought the day was going to look like. What's important for some of us may feel a sense of not really getting everything we want or feeling a sense of being shortchanged. If you're experiencing that the morning of March 21st, ask yourself, is this a chronic thing with me? Do I feel this a lot? Is this like an old story? Or is this, no, something's not really going the way I need it to right now? Regardless of what it is, if it's an old story, recognize that you may be magnifying it because you may just think this is the way life goes. Life goes how we kind of put our energy into it. There are things we can't control, but this particular feeling, a sense of being shortchanged, that can be controlled. Sometimes it's as simple as, oh, I was supposed to get $5.48 change, and I only got $5.25. Damn, I was shortchanged. Excuse the French. But that doesn't have to wreck your day. It can just be like, oh, okay, whatever. Or it can be, this always happens. You want it to be, whatever. Because it really, in the long scheme of things, especially in the short scheme of your personal day, anything that feels like a slight should not be something you carry into the afternoon, evening, because what you want to focus on is you want to focus on the partnerships, the alliances, the commitments, the goals that are going to get you where you want to be with a sense of, I have actualized and moved forward with something I want to move forward with. It may be that before you put your head on the pillow or when you wake up the next morning on Tuesday, you realize, I thought I was going to work with so-and-so on this project, but they're not really pulling their end. If that's the realization, or the realization might be, I said I could do this, but I realized I don't really have the time, energy, or focus. Whatever the adjustment needs to be to bring the outcome with integrity, that is worth stepping in and saying, look, this isn't going to go the way we thought it was. How can we structure it differently? And we can really make tremendous strides the morning of Tuesday, the 22nd, and catch up to adjust things that could be hard if we don't adjust them. So get up early, do what you need to do, make the magic happen. And by the time we enter past noon, you'll feel a sense of real accomplishment and strength if you paid attention and used the energy correctly. So the afternoon of the 22nd, the moon enters Sagittarius at 2:59 p.m. And once it's in the sign of Sagittarius, we're in different energy than we were in the opening part of the week. Sagittarius is fire. It's what we call mutable. It's very adaptable. It wants to be inspired. It moves. And that's all fine and good. But one of the things we need to pay attention to is there's a Mars-Uranus picture in the sky on this day. And that really indicates surprises that can happen when we're moving. So you really want to be paying attention if you're on the road, if you're commuting, if you're moving around. It doesn't mean something bad's going to happen at all. But what it means is that things switch, stuff moves around. And so we want to use that moon in Sag adaptability to kind of land on our feet and do the maneuvers we have to. And it's not just about transit. It can be someone becomes short-tempered. We can get into an altercation or argument. And I would not recommend or advise that you throw fuel on the fire of whatever the argument or controversy might be. The best tactic would be to distract, to use the Sag moon to get more information, or say, look over here, or do something that brings in a more lightness to whatever might go more explosively, because we don't want that. It's also a day that Monday and Tuesday that we want to send prayer energy and healing energy to Ukraine, Europe, areas where there is a lot of volatility on the planet. And the thing about volatility, when I use that word, is it means that things get hot, they flare up, and we have to take action. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but what it means is that the choices we make when we confront that, whatever it is, mean everything for the outcome. So that's why I remind us, fuel on the fire is not where we want to go on the 22nd at all. We want to look at what's ahead of us, what the surprise, the unexpected thing was, and react to it with a sense of intelligence and wisdom. Things that happen or begun or initiated on this day, the most important thing, and this holds for Wednesday also, Wednesday, we want to make sure that messages and communication are clear. Most important thing on Wednesday, because it's a fast-moving day, a lot's going on, and we need to make sure everything's understood of what was supposed to happen or who was expected to do what, or we will perhaps be disappointed, confused, or kind of kicking the wall at the outcome. On the 24th, the moon goes void, of course, at 8:59 a.m., and it's void all day in the sign of Sagittarius. So what I would stress on this day, on the 24th, Thursday, is it's best to work in projects already in motion. It's really important to get outside, be in nature any way you can, even if it's just having on your desktop a picture of the woods, because we get restored so much with a sense of organic continuity. The moon enters Capricorn at 5:54 p.m. And this sets up some very productive days. So anything that we need to finish or pick up the loose ends with, things maybe that didn't go as well as we might have liked over the past couple of days, or things that were started early in the week that maybe we have to revisit, those are the things we want to go back to. And the productivity that goes on from Thursday evening through Friday into Saturday. Keen communication, a way of getting points across that may be laborious but worth the effort. So it's really, really valuable to get into the pit with the struggle, with the negotiation on Friday. It may feel as though you're hitting nerves at different points, but then the deep healing can happen. It is absolutely magnificent and productive, what should be able to happen by late afternoon, evening on Friday the 25th into Saturday. Incredible day on Saturday with what can be done when we go right into the project and roll up our sleeves and just communicate, collaborate, and create. Amazing. So at 7:51 p.m. on Saturday the 26th, the moon goes void, of course, and it enters Aquarius at 8:55 p.m. So there's about an hour where we can kind of clear our desks, set things up, figure out strategy for the next thing, or just really the best thing, meditate, restore, reflect, and absorb. When the moon enters Aquarius at 8:55 p.m. on Saturday night, wow, this is a highly energized moon that takes us through Sunday, that is really about right collaboration. So network, reach out, connect, have conversations with people who you're attracted to or who you want to work with on things that have to do with potential and realization, because amazing things can happen at this period of time, the evening and into Sunday the 27th. The thing about Sunday the 27th is you may think that, oh, okay, everything's going this way. This is how we're going to do it. This is how it's going to roll out. He's on board. She's on board. They're on board. This is where we're going. And then something out of the blue comes in and it's like, wow, where did that come? I did not see that coming. And instead of having it derail you, hop on the new car, go with the momentum of what's been presented to you. Or see it as something that needed to be revealed and shown so that you have the right information, the total awareness of where you need to go next. Because what can happen on Sunday the 27th is we can work in ways that are tremendously healing, that are very progressive, that take us into the turbo boost of moving into a place of not only action, but realization. And it's quite stunning, because what's going on here is we have the last few days of the waning moon cycle before we get to that new moon that I'll talk about on next week's recording. And it's really the energetic end of the whole zodiacal wheel. We've been through the spring equinox, but we're at the waning moon cycle coming off the Pisces new moon and heading towards the Aries new moon that happens next week. So with this Aquarius moon on Saturday evening and Sunday that goes into Monday, we have such a momentum to finish the old projects. And that doesn't mean we won't carry them into the next lunar cycle, but anything that kind of needs to be nailed down, declared, wrapped up, structured in such a way of alliances or reaching out, this is a very powerful weekend to make that happen. So we are moving into a place, as I said, that has more to do with collaboration, concepts, innovations. And this weekend is when we can really focus on what is our network, who are our friends, who are the collaborators that we can really work with on creating the world we want to live in. And that can be as personal as what goes on in your home and as wide as what you envision for the greater world. And now I turn it over to Suzy.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sounds like a very powerful week.
Yes.
So let's jump into our meditation. Taking a few deeper breaths, allowing yourself to arrive. And as you become very present, let's just take stock now of who we are, where we're at, what we're doing, and who's around us. So I have this visual image now of us, of ourselves, of me, of you being like a campfire. And see yourself now as this beautiful, warming, heating, lighting fire outside. And around you there is a circle of people. And those are your people. And you might already have a tremendous group of friends, of family, of colleagues, of people around you that you work well with, that you trust, that you enjoy collaborating with. And some of us might not have that group, and now is the time for us to create that group. And everything that we know now of what's coming up in the future, everything that we're hearing from the celestials, from the movements of the planets, everything that we're hearing from Pam in the astrology is all about collaboration and coming together as we go through massive transformation, massive transmutation into a brighter, more cohesive, more balanced, democratic future. So as we move to that place, it's about really tapping into each other, tapping into each other's compassion and understanding, and tapping into each other's skills and bringing more and more people to the table. And perhaps some of those people aren't up to scratch. So what we do is we share and we engage and we educate. So as we're in our little fire, visualize yourself in this place of offering warmth, in offering transformation, the fire being a tremendous symbol of transformation. See yourself as this burning fire offering this potential of transformation, offering light, offering heat to those around you. And if those people walk away from the fire, that's fine. That's free will. If people walk up to the fire and want to join you and engage with you, allow them, be welcoming. And perhaps we need some time now to just think about who are the people that we would like to have around us. Who are the people that we feel are ready, that we feel are on the same wavelength, perhaps, people that you feel a kinship with, people that you feel a similar spiritual outlook with, and see those people around you. And some of those people also might not share a similar spiritual outlook. They might be people that you are the caretaker of, perhaps some children or family or friends, and it's our responsibility to look after them. So as you form this group around you, and again, if there is not a group, then know that you would like to reach out and create a group, that you would like to put that energy now out into your community, that you would like to find some friends, find some new people to work with. And the way to get there, of course, is to follow your interests, whether it's going to an environmental action group or a political group or a craft group or a religious group or a volunteering organization, wherever it is that you feel drawn to, start to create connections. This is a time now where there's a lot of potential for new friendships, for new connections, perhaps even going back into your past and finding some people that you have worked well with in the past or that you have enjoyed their company. Now would be a great time to renew and come back to them and see if, hey, what can we do together now? And when we come together, when we put our minds together, when we come together to create projects, it always has that wonderful excitement of like people coming around the campfire. What can we share? What foods? What stories? What can we share together? What great ideas? What resolutions? When we put together our histories, when we put together all of the things that we have been through, when we have this collective experience, we actually have a great deal of wisdom and information to share with each other. We don't have to reinvent the wheel when we come together. And we can come together to create things. And now, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, as we're coming into the very gentle warming, as we're coming into the spring, as we're coming into the period of growing, one of our projects might be to create together a garden, a community garden in our town or in our own garden, and open it up to others. So find a way that you can create a project that is instilling hope and instilling goodness and instilling perhaps even conflict resolution, depending on where you are in your communities. So how is it that you can now come forward in your life? Where can you come forward and collaborate with others? Perhaps you develop a very simple project or a very elaborate project, but don't in any way let anything restrict you now at this time, because there is so much energy now in finding ways around obstacles, through obstacles, turning obstacles into tremendous and wonderful challenges that we can actually meet face to face and come to a resolution. And as we do this, as we come together, we are putting that energy out into the world. And that energy is about finding the common ground, about coming together, about compassion, about understanding, and really tapping into the tremendous creative force energy that is bubbling in the world. So we distill the energy of warfare and conflict. We bring it back. We distill it down to the energy, and then we create from that energy powerful, resolution, peaceful, progressive, expansive energy. It is all up to us now, in the peace of our mind, in the calmness of our mind, to find this way together as really deeply concerned and loving human beings. And feeling this energy of hope, of action, of collaboration, feeling this energy of deep insight and resourcefulness, we together turn around all of the different processes and systems that no longer serve us, and we bring about change. And feeling this energy in our hearts, in our mind, in our body, we have a nice stretch, stretching up our arms, opening up our heart centers, pulling on those shoulders, and taking a few deeper breaths, arriving here and now. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We look forward to collaborating more and more with you. And thank you to my collaborator of many decades, Pamela Cucinell. Thanks so much, everyone. See you next week. Love now.
You have been listening to Suzy Meszoly and Pamela Cucinell of ActiveSpirituality.life. If you've enjoyed this program, consider a donation. You can find the link for that, ActiveSpirituality.life. Regardless, we look forward to having you join us again for next week's podcast. Please share and have a great week.